And welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. Tonight's gonna be a fun one. Before we jump into it,
What's that mean?
I don't know. We ended on an interesting note. Yeah.
Y'all hear that heartbeat?
It's weird.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, let's go ahead and get to our opening announcements. First and foremost, our glorious returning sponsor for the evening are our friends at Loot Crate! Loot Crate! Fantastic, awesome people. Sam, you want something to talk about?
Yeah, you know, a lot of my Loot Crate plugs have been comedic or cute. Some would say clever.
Debatable.
I don't know if I got that.
But one thing that's been lacking is a sense of spectacle, of human achievement, of record breaking. So tonight I'm going to attempt something that's never been attempted before. I'm going to do the Loot Crate copy read here while drinking an entire Coca-Cola.
Oh no.
And a bite-sized 100-gram bar, Snickers bar, Milky Way, Twix, another bite-sized Snickers bar, and a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, and a packet of Big League Chew.
Oh yes.
What? You're
In
gonna vomit.
2 minutes.
Okay, I
You're
got
gonna
it.
Also, all
got
this
something.
stuff melted in my car.
Notice he's
So-
got a towel.
Actually, really gross looking.
Just like this looks
All right,
unhappy.
Travis?
Yeah.
You got the clock ready. 2
Yeah.
minutes. Can it be done? The answer is no. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Loot Crate is a curated collection of awesome items from the best pop culture franchises delivered to your door every month. You get the best, most exclusive licensed figures, t-shirts, home goods, and more.
Oh no.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Oh my god.
He's gonna spew. At least it's Mexico.
No!
No, don't help him.
This week's, don't help me!
No,
This week's Crate theme is Primal, featuring awesome swag from X-Men, Overwatch, and Predator.
30 seconds.
Treat yourself every month to give the gift of geeking out to a friend or loved one.
What the F, man?
If you visit lootcrate.com/criticalrole and use coupon code criticalrole, you'll get 10% off your Loot Crate monthly geek crate.
Oh, God.
From collectibles to barrel, tech gadgets, art, and holographic gear.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
That's like Comic-Con in a box.
1 minute.
Oh boy! How do I separate the gum from the other stuff? Loot Crate DX, Loot Gaming, and Loot Anime. How do you want to do this?
Did you do it? Did you just do it?
No.
The Coke's gotta go.
We can't get in.
Oh God! Oh, that's
30 seconds left. 30 seconds left. Work it. Work. Relax the throat.
Oh God! Oh, he's gonna kill himself. Don't choke.
Half left.
15
Get
seconds.
that shit out of your mouth.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Don't look.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't stop
I'm gonna think
fighting.
less of you. It doesn't matter anymore.
1. That's it. That's it. Oh my God.
You get a
that's it.
participation ribbon. Well done.
That was so fucking close.
No.
Do we have an ambulance on standby?
5 years from now, your children will be able to Google this. I'm just going to remind you.
If there was ever a moment in our show that will be gift and show up on Giphy, that's it right there. Oh, thank you, Sam. And thank you, Loot Crate, for your fantastic sponsorship.
I feel like we just passed into performance art there.
Yeah.
Don't forget to use the code Critical Role for 10% off your Loot Crate monthly geek crate.
That
The entire tooth
I'm
that is
just
brown.
like gonna throw up.
I feel like
Yeah, I can't hang.
Teeth are all brown.
Can't hang.
So gross.
I feel like that's an opening act to Gaga's next tour. Like
Yeah.
that's
Listen, real art makes you uncomfortable and challenges you.
The Super Bowl.
Consider
was
us
missing
challenged and uncomfortable.
That made my eyes water and not in a good way.
that. Part of the back of my head.
Thank you, Sam.
I'm no longer thinking about the game. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not even thinking a little bit about the game.
Wow.
All right.
I'll take care of this.
Wow.
Next
Roll it
up.
up and burn
Do you
it.
want to handle that?
You gonna finish that coat?
Oh yeah.
It's the only way to be sure. All right, so last week we mentioned this. I want to tell you guys again. Thanks to Qualcomm, Lionsgate, and their new VR experience, and the new upcoming Power Rangers movie, our friends at Nerdist are doing a circumstance where you can win a paid trip to LA to attend the movie premiere of Power Rangers, as well as Google Pixel phones and Daydream headsets. It only has one more day, and they wanted to make sure that we let you guys know this for the last day they have going. So be sure to go to nerdist.com/Power Rangers giveaway to learn more about this and enter to win. If this sounds like an awesome thing to you. If one of you guys wins, that's great, because then we just have more and more of our community winning everything, which is kind of our long-term plan. So check it out.
Take over the world.
Yay! Okay, next up, merch. Lord, do we have any updates on that?
I put food in my mouth.
What the fuck are you
Quick,
thinking?
the code.
What are you
10,
thinking?
9, 8,
I have one more sheet while she swallows. Okay.
The distance on that was incredible.
My hair
You
went-
made it in the box.
Hold on, Marisha. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are
I'm
you okay?
concerned.
Why are we not talking about this?
That sounded like something that happens when you're diseased.
Yeah, I can feel your glycogen spike from over here.
Marisha, you were saying?
Stab you in the heart with an EpiPen.
This Saturday, it's the 2-year anniversary of the Twitch stream.
Wow.
My
Yes.
halftime was.
Isn't that nice and pleasant and not disgusting looking? It's a 24-hour Twitch stream. There's gonna be a lot going on. There's gonna be Gather Your Party, AXYB special. There's gonna be Game the Game, and
Breaded
we're
men?
going to Bearded Men.
Oh, I thought I said
not
breaded men. I was very
no,
excited.
Bearded Men. And we are going to be playing Mansions of Madness. Some of us here.
I'm down.
Yeah, like around 1 o'clock.
And this
I don't-
24-hour
you're not
event's
gonna be
a charity
playing
stream
Mansions of Madness, are you?
benefiting
No.
826 LA.
Yes, yeah, and
Yes.
the whole thing is going to be charity related.
Oh,
It's all
good.
going to go to 826 LA.
Our friends there since the beginning.
Yeah,
So looking forward to that.
yeah. So donate. We're going to be taking donations. It's going to be great.
Exactly. And tomorrow at noon Pacific time, me and Darren DePaul are going to be guesting on Eric's TBD RPG, the Doctor Who RPG, from noon to 3 p.m. Tomorrow Pacific, and then we'll be.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And
Put him in the game. Put him in the game so you can kill him.
Yeah.
okay, that's a good call. And it looks like we'll also be continuing that game on Saturday before the Mansions of Madness stream from 11 to 1. So I'll be here for 5 hours again. On Saturday. But it's gonna be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. I'm excited to go guest on there and play for a little bit. So hopefully see you guys tomorrow and Saturday. Let's see. So Laura, now that you're
Oh, hey.
hi.
How's
Hi.
it going, guys?
Good.
We have. Touch my donuts. We have all of the normal, wonderful stuff still available in the store. The stuff that's out of stock actually has been removed so that you don't get confused when you're looking for things. So we have, our Gilmore shirt. We got our Strong Jaws shirt. We got a How Do You Want to Do This shirt with the hoodie. We got baseball caps. We got patches. We got vinyl stickers, which I am still a really big fan of. They go on windshields, MacBooks, whatever you want. Pets, not recommended. So yeah, check it out if you want to wear your Critical Role goodies.
You're like an Italian grandmother in Hoboken, New Jersey right
Hey.
Bada bing.
Bada bing, bada boom. There you go.
Moving on.
Big bada boom.
The new Signal Boost came out with Jason Charles Miller as the host.
Yeah.
Our friend who played Garthok for his temporary run during the initial Conclave attack. And he-
class.
yes, and he
And he did our theme music.
He did our theme music for the
Yeah.
show here. He's a very talented musician,
Yeah.
and a good friend of the show. And you can see his new run on Signal Boost this week. New GM Tips is out today.
Yeah.
My second to last on the run at this time. This episode is more for the players and deals with creating and running characters that are against the normal tropes and the types that people generally fall into when creating a character in an RPG. So go check it out. See if See if any of it seems to resonate.
This is now how he criticizes us now, is he makes a little web video and sends it all to us instead of actually talking to us.
Yeah,
like,
it's very passive aggressive.
it's very.
Took a while to figure it out, Taliesin. But I'm glad you finally did. Also, Wednesday Club, Taliesin?
Yes. I actually, it turns out, have to record voiceover on occasion. So Wednesday Club is not going to be me this week, and I'll be talking to comic books to the engineer who will be mildly irritated with me. But instead, you guys, Matt Key is going to be hosting, and he's going to talk about his favorite thing in the world.
Doctor Strange?
Doctor Strange.
His wife and Doctor Strange, but that's cool too.
Oh, yeah, his wife and
Dr.
Dr.
Strange.
Strange.
And Doctor Strange, his work wife.
Yeah.
So, it's great. Be fun.
Also, don't forget we have Talks Machina live on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. here on Twitch and Alpha, hosted by our fantastic Brian Foster. So check us out next week to discuss this episode when it comes up. Last two things. One, we mentioned it on Talks Machina, but one of our fantastic crew members, Amandine, who is currently trying to legally find a way to stay in the country, currently put up a Fundly. The fun folks here, as part of the cast and the community, put together a Fundly at fundly.com/we-love-Amandine, Amandine, to raise money to help with her legal costs to try and keep her here working with us. The community's already been incredible. If you have any interest in helping support that, I recommend go check it out and give what little you can, because it all helps. And last but not least, we got a got a gift today in the mail from a fantastic critter named Chris Coppola, who, as part of an anniversary present for me and Marisha, built a treasure chest, like from scratch, like cut down the tree, trimmed, lathed, built a treasure chest.
It's amazing.
That's incredible.
And we thought it was for all of us, but then we realized it was just for Matt and Marisha.
It's physically beautiful, but just the process that we saw outlined it's
Phenomenal.
Beautiful. Beautiful
So,
gift.
Chris, thank you tremendously from all of us, but most of me and Marisha.
I'm gonna take a dumper in that box at your house the first opportunity I get.
Joe!
Magical
no.
chest of dumping.
That is absolutely brilliant and undeserved, and very happy to find a very wonderful place in our home to fill it with awesome nerdy shit. So thank you, Chris. All right, I think that's the end of our announcements. That being the case,
No.
let's jump in to tonight's episode of Critical Role. And welcome back, everyone. So, picking up where we left off this last episode, Vox Machina had made their way west into the Osmit Sea to the islands of Amun and the city of Vesra, the final stop in Keyleth's long-running Aramente to prove herself leader of her people of Zephyra. Here, they were given a task as part of the Armente where they had to retrieve 3 lodestones within the rift to the water elemental plane, which as of late have been taken up residence by a kraken, an ancient pet of the Titans, now freed and left to wander, to feed, grow, and apparently loom across that boundary. The party went in, and due to an unfortunate vomiting episode underwater, drew the attention of the
Did you
Kraken.
plan that?
What?
That you were almost vomiting today and you vomited and ruined our lives?
I just plan to vomit every week. At least once.
It's for the best, I think. However, drew the attention of the Kraken, and a very, very intense battle ensued, in which most of you managed to escape by the skin of your teeth. However, in the battle, Vax did fall. His body left cold and lifeless beneath the waters. In a last-minute urge of leadership, Keyleth reached out, grabbed the twins, and plane shifted back into the prime material plane, with Percival, Tarion, and Grog looking to escape. You managed to be vomited up with apparently almost no hit points left, and jump through the portal while flicking off the Kraken as
Birds, badass.
and that was where we left off. So, before we get into this,
Wait, what? There's a before?
Vax,
No.
Bastard.
as you feel the cold waters rush around you and your vision go dark, even as the unconsciousness takes you, your vision narrows and tunnels until it's just nothing. And while you were floating before, the cold temperature begins to become warm. It's a familiar warmth. And as opposed to being in water, there is no resistance. You're just in a dark space. You can look down and you can now see your hands. And you recall and you remember this. You've been here before. This is very reminiscent of your first journey into the blood pool, your first true communion with the Raven Queen. And the moment you make that realization, as you're looking at your hands, you watch as something dull and white arises from the darkness below you, and you look down and see the massive porcelain mask of the Raven Queen emerge from the shadows, tendrils of darkness just kind of spilling off at the edges and the corners, as you watch the stone face of the Raven Queen rise up to meet yours. What seemed immense suddenly seems small. And as the shadow pulls away, you can see the tumbles of jet black hair falling past the shoulders, the long raven feather woven gathers and then vanishes into the impossible darkness behind her. The hands just kind of reach out and take you by the side to the head. And you hear the voice, once again emanating, sourceless, ringing from all around you. It says, "My champion. It seems you've stepped to return to me. But what is your destined thread to be?" Grog, as you come jumping through the portal and turn to flick off the Kraken, you watch as one of its tendrils begins to one of its final tentacles that's still there, pulls through and begins to try and grab one of the sides of the rock lodestone pillars. The other guardians, half merfolk, have various individuals rush forward and begin just stabbing at it as it begins to get its beak snapping right at the interior of this portal. You see it now starting to flex and the energy beginning to pulse as it's almost trying to force its way through a much smaller opening. Percival, Grog, Tarion, what are you guys doing?
Oh shit! We have to do stuff?
Oh shit.
I'm still wet as a. I'm still underwater.
Y'all are still underwater, yes.
Does this happen a lot?
The Guardians right now are just shouting and screaming and stabbing at the one tentacle.
Like a lot of that is a lot of just open mouth, like ah!
Yeah, they're just like, quick, push it back! They're all stabbing it. The one tentacle finally snaps and withdraws inside.
We could just go. We could just leave. We could just fine.
The mouth pulls back, and now just the whole body shifts over, and you see the one giant eye from one side of the Kraken come peering through.
I'm dragging Tyrion, and you, if I can drag you as well. I'm just like, we're walking away.
No, eyeball soft. Let me throw one more time at the eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I throw the hammer at the eyeball.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
Okay, cool. Reckless.
Reckless. Okay, so you had disadvantage underwater, but so it's one roll.
Oh, balls. 23.
That'll hit.
Nice.
Roll damage.
Oh, I meant two-handed. Oh no, I'm throwing it.
You're throwing it.
It's 8.
There it is.
This connector is a little wonky.
21 points of damage. I'm still enlarged, right?
You are, yes.
25 points of damage.
25. Whack! As you release the hammer, it goes Thor style, just head first, piercing through the water and into the open eye of the Kraken as it slams shut. You hear that as it reels back, and the voice kind of pierces through the rift towards you and most of the people in the vicinity one more time, saying, "I'm coming soon enough." And as it pulls back, the remainder of the Guardians go ahead and reach over, each putting hands on the lodestones and shift them slightly in place. And you watch as the rift kind of crackles and then doesn't slam entirely shut, but the image you had of the water elemental plane suddenly grows a little more opaque and difficult to make out the discerning details.
And I managed to.
Yeah, your hammer does return.
Well, we all give something every once in a while.
So, as you carrying the, which you were,
He resuscitated me, I believe.
Yes.
I have 6 points.
yes, so conscious, horribly beaten. It seems the Kraken has been beaten back, and currently the lodestones are utilized to keep the rift in check. You're uncertain as to whether or not the threat of the Kraken was an idle threat or whatever else is playing, but regardless, that's the least of your worries.
Did we all hear it?
Hear what?
You,
The
Because he
Kraken.
mind speaks, right?
it would have been,
He brain talks.
It would have been primarily to you, Grog, and some of the other Guardians nearby.
Okay. That's good.
Well, he was not happy in the end there, but he recognized true power, and he was sorry to see us go.
As soon as the as you've had this conversation, you turn and look to left, and you see Durand there, who is waiting. He goes, "Wait, where's the rest of them? Where's the rest? Where's Keyleth?"
They disappeared.
They went away.
Well, let's hope that they knew where they're going, at the very least. Any idea where they went?
Can we breathe some air?
All right, follow me. And he starts leading the swimming cavalcade of individuals that are leading you up to the top of Vestra, back up through the area of Torrent, through the various tubes and tunnels of the reef that leads towards the surface of the Osmond Sea. Simultaneously, Keyleth, Vex, and the lifeless body of Vax, you apparate roughly 10 feet above the surface of the water on the outskirts of Vestra, tumble a bit and splash into the foot and a half shallow waters on the outskirts. As you all kind of get up for a minute and kind of think about your circumstance, Vex, you look down and you see your brother there, kind of face down in the waters, floating.
I flip him over and look at him. Vex! Vex, wake up!
Come on, we have to get him out of this environment. Come on.
Is there a cleric on the island?
Yes. But before I do anything, I am going to throw up a skyrite above the city,
I start dragging his body.
and that says "Help, cleric." That works. Look at the idea. Hold on to him. Get on. I'm going to turn into my giant raven form again.
How big is that?
It's like the giant eagle form. I just kind of modify it for style.
Okay.
Yeah.
So using the stats of a giant eagle, but you're going into a raven type form.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Black feathers.
Good.
That coolness. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about branding.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Okay. And what are you doing?
Gotta be on message.
Where are we going?
I fly off towards the center of the city, towards where the entrance to the portal was, because I'm assuming there would be sages and clerics waiting there.
Well, the portal is beneath the city.
I know, but
Rift.
there was like
there was the central chamber in the middle of the city, which is where it seemed the base of where the social gathering seemed to occur, and the centerpiece was where Uvenda and many of the other keepers of the city seemed to frequent.
I'll head there.
Okay. So you watch as the giant raven
Oh
takes
no,
off.
I'm holding on to her. right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're holding on to
She's holding on to him, and
Okay,
we're
I
riding
got
there.
you. Okay, so
Yeah.
you climb onto the back of the giant raven, clutching your brother in one arm, and as the wings pick up, you kind of use all the might that you have to just hold on. You're used to flying under your own power, usually not somebody else's. But as the wings take off, the sea breeze, thankfully, is not too heavy that day, and as you coast in, coming down, kind of dodging between the various buildings and heading towards the central risen chamber, you can watch as on the upper kind of third tier level of this, there's a single chamber that is open, and the outside wall is a series of pillars that makes up the structure. On the inside, you can see it dips down into 3 different kind of sunken platforms, and in the center there are a handful of small statues, there's incense being burned, and what looks to be a small altar of some kind. There are 4 figures there inside, all dressed in similar kind of blues and greens, aquas and whites. Most of them are just long robes with dangling shell-based jewelry and various, smoothed off stones that have been found, tossed and rounded by the elements through the years. And in the center of the chamber, in the process of lighting a few of these kind of, I'm not quite sure what the material is, but they appear to be candles, as if they're being lit like candles. You see Uvenda is walking with her staff, kind of taking this long burning tube and is currently setting them alight as you approach. As the wings begin to prepare for landing, the wind kicks up in front, and you see some of the other guardians kind of put their arm up and look up curiously, some of them reaching back and preparing for whatever may be there. Uvenda's voice, however, rings out across the center of this chamber and says,
"Stop! Stop! I know this one who approaches."
And as they all slowly back up, Uvenda kind of stumbles upward, sets aside her small hand-based wick to one of her servants and approaches the raven as you begin to slink off the side of the bird.
Please, are there any clerics here?
We do have some here of a healing-based nature. Yes, has he been hurt?
He's dead.
She slowly approaches and kind of reaches over and puts her hand on the forehead of Vax's corpse. Kind of runs with them along the cold skin.
Indeed. The Kraken claims another.
No, he won't claim him. What can we do?
The power that is at our disposal could perhaps bring him back, though his form may be different than you recall.
I drop my form.
All right. The feathers scatter off as Keyleth is now returned to her half-elf image.
Do you have means of traveling quickly? We have a friend who's a cleric. Can you get us to her there and back quickly? Or someone who can tree stride me there and bring her back. I'm exhausted, or else I would do it myself. Please. Please.
I have not a means of travel, but we could reach out to someone.
Yeah.
All right, and she walks back to the altar, and you can see where there are a series of these statues that are there's 4 of them in the center, and there's one large statue in the center. And the center statue, it looks almost like long petrified reef. It's white, it's porous. It looks like the long dead reef, but it seems to swirl into tree-like shape. It's this weird kind of merging of sea and forest-based imagery, and as each various portion of the tree outstretches, you see various baubles are hanging from it. You see stones, necklaces, notes. Uvenda kind of sets her staff to the side, and her small, kind of slightly arched form begins to slowly crawl up the side of the tree, and it looks a bit physically arduous for her, but nobody offers to help. You see this is something that she's done often, and is kind of part of her job as the guardian here in Vestar of this tree.
While she does this, I come over the earpiece and I say, Grog, Percy, quick, get back up to the central tower, quick.
How do we even know they're alive?
I'm trusting that they are.
The distance of the earpiece, you can hear them, yes.
We're on our way.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. Is everyone still alive down there?
Yeah, barely, yes, for the moment.
Vax is down, so, hurry?
We're on our way.
As you're finishing this statement, you watch as Yuvenda's climbing down with one hand and has something cradled in her left arm, and she's like kind of almost like slips for a minute and sets herself down back on both of her feet and kind of rubs her lower back. You'll get there one day.
Please hurry.
And she unfurls her arm, and you can see there's a conch shell. A small conch shell, but a conch shell. And she goes, whoever you're wishing to speak to, think of them and whisper it into the shell.
Pike. Pike, if you can hear me, we need you now. In Vesra. Please, it's Vax.
How do we know if it worked?
Yeah. Second that statement.
She'll hear you. It's up to her whether or not she can act. And she hands the conch over to one of the assistants, takes her staff back up. Now, we offer the service still. Should you not hear anything, we are more than willing to try and restore him to whatever form we can.
How much time does... How long is too long?
I don't want to wait too long. Let's just wait a little while longer and see if we hear anything from Pike. She's very smart. She'll hear us.
Start brushing his hair off of his face.
While she does that, I start gathering the feathers and start laying them out as a bed around Vax and preparing the station.
Okay, so the scattered remnants of your transformation, the raven feathers that were kind of shunted from your form, you begin to form a sort of bed-like place to set his body on. Okay, while you guys are doing that, Durin finally breaks the surface of the water where you were originally brought down into the area of Torrent, and after you all hit the surface and breathe out, the bright midday sun is coming down, the smell of sea air hits you, you hear the distant calling of various ocean shorebirds, and it's a welcome change of pace in the murky depths of the water elemental plane you've been facing for the past few moments. As soon as you emerge, Durin kind of steps up into the sand, turns around, shakes and kind of rustles his hair off. All right, well, that's the end of my watch. I don't know what to do.
Could you point us in the direction of where your healers would be?
For healers, and he points over to the large ascending central structure in Vesra, the one above where you guys had dinner the night before. He says, well, that's your best bet there. So Yuvanda's at least. She can help you more than I do. I spend most of my time in the outskirts, so we're down below.
Right. Thank you for watching our backs in there. That was real heavy, but we have to be leaving you now.
Oh, understood.
Yeah.
What, hope everything's okay. And he gives you like a nod and steps over to the side and just watches you guys go as he goes and retrieves one of his Rave Runner sailing boards and just kind of watches with a look of intensity and worry in his brow as his kind of dark dwarven complexion vanishes in the distance, you guys approaching, rushing in towards the center of the city. As you begin to approach, you watch as Dodie, who's been kind of waiting patiently off to the side, kind of comes up to you and is holding the book out and starts just thumbing through page after page after page.
Yes, Dodie, thank you. I'll review this all later. How many pages did you fill?
It goes past about 25 different pages in very, very tiny script that goes into detail about the tides going in, by every every small, each person that went in and out of the water, anything he saw in the further distance, various birds from the sky. He does have a few spatterings of white bird excrement across the top of his armor.
Sure does.
It seems as proud as an automaton could.
Very well done, Dodie. Thank you. We'll have much more to write tonight, so save some energy for that. Will you carry me?
Sweeps you up in a in a full-on princess carry,
Oh my god.
and begins running after Percival and Grog towards the center of Vesra. You guys reach the base of this, and you have, there's all the kind of open stone pavilions where the central gathering areas. You can now see people are starting to look up curiously, coming out of their various homes and places, noticing all this commotion happening up in the top of the temple. You watch as there is a spattering of dark feathers up the top, and you guys begin to ascend one of the two spiral staircases that ascends to the upper level of the temple. Eventually, you guys come to the surface. You're immediately greeted by one of the guards who's on guard, currently with one of their spears, and upon recognizing you, kind of steps aside and lets you in, and that's where you guys watch as Keyleth and Vex are laying Vax down onto a kind of makeshift bed of black feathers.
What? Am I there? Yeah.
You're there. You're still in Dodie's arms.
Dodie down. What happened? What's going on? Is he dead?
Yeah, this is what happens when you adventure.
Keyleth, what?
God.
She'll come. She'll come.
Are there other options?
I'm waiting for Pike. She'll come.
Are there other options?
Pike will come.
There are other options.
But they're not good enough. Pike will come.
What?
I don't care what he looks like, I just want him back.
Pike will come. I don't want to do this without Pike. She'll come.
Yuvenda at this point is starting to gather some of the servants and starting to take down certain baubles and trinkets from the tree branches and setting them in a vicinity around. And she does so. She's like, these represent protection of the waves. They take some small salts and kind of scatter them around. They're doing the best they can from a ceremonial standpoint to at least prepare a space. About 15 tense moments pass as you all look out to the horizon. The sun now moving past its zenith and pushing into the afternoon portion of the day. The air is growing a little more hot. You find both the nerves, the stress, and the temperature of the room, all of the light from the sun being reflected off of the white stone, causing this kind of heated element to the interior, and you instinctually begin to sweat, and it's getting slightly uncomfortable. There is what sounds like a distant rumble of thunder.
Where's it coming from?
You're not sure. It just sort of seemed
Directionless.
directionless.
Is anybody else startled by it?
You guys all notice each other kind of reacting to the sound, and something happens again, but this time much closer.
Is this normal? What's happening?
Yuvenda's looking a bit awkwardly into the air.
Normal, no. But let us be cautious.
As she takes her staff, her little elderly gnomish form, kind of clutching it in front of her in a defensive standpoint.
Don't let anything harm him.
Yeah.
I'm going to run to my room and get my things. We have not had anything vaguely resembling a short rest at this point.
No.
Okay.
It's happened very rapidly.
Running
The rest has been the 15 minutes of kind of waiting to hear anything happen. As soon as you start darting to leave, Percival, that rolling thunder sound hits with a small thunder crack. Right in the room, there's a flash of light. There's a spiral burst of what looks like white-orange flame, and there you see drop from about 10 feet in the air the golden astral form of Pike with her extended Saren Ray wings that slowly retract and vanish from the form. As your gnomish friend kind of looks up, her mostly corporeal form, eyes wide, glancing up at the rest of you. Actually, if you want to come in.
I know I'm ready, right?
as Pike, Ashley Johnson.
Hi, everybody. I wish it were better circumstances. Okay.
So Pike, the message came to you, and you immediately went to a frenzy. You were in the process of carrying a bunch of food along with other volunteers within Iman, getting it to some of the folks that lost their homes. And when the voice of Keyleth hit your ears, you immediately dropped what you were holding. You found somebody to help to continue to lead this effort, and immediately rushed off to find the nearest temple of Sarenrae in Iman, which still stands, slightly damaged, but it's still one of the buildings of the temple district that's fine. There you sat in quiet prayer for a number of minutes, just imploring to Sarenrae to offer you some sort of guidance or way, and you felt something around you shift, like a push. Someone just kind of pushed you in the shoulders. And as your eyes opened, you weren't in the temple anymore. You were above a floor in a brighter, sunlit, unfamiliar place. And as you landed and caught yourself, you could see you are in your astral form, much like in the Whitestone experience. And you turn around and see surrounding you in the center of this kind of open air chamber in the depths, or in the center of this expansive ocean, your friends, their eyes locking to you with a look of sudden joy and despair mingled.
Oh, thanks, Sarenrae. You heard. And I just run up and was gonna give her a hug and then pat her astral form. Kind of hug her.
Pike, we need your help.
Okay.
Max,
What's happening?
can you still do some sort of resurrection
Yes.
from here? Yeah?
I think I can. I mean, I will try.
Okay. How is this gonna work with him and the Raven Queen? What do you know? Vex, do you know anything?
I know nothing.
Do you know anything, Pike? Ooh.
I don't know. I've never done anything quite like this before with... I mean, most of the time when you guys have been there for resurrections, I don't know. We just have to try.
Okay.
Is there anything on his armor, like something we should be looking for? Like a tab or a button or a... No?
I look. Is there any sort of message from the Raven Queen on his armor?
Make an investigation check.
That's good. 20. What's 5 plus 7?
32.
No.
5 plus
22.
20. Oh, I thought you said
22.
I mean, they're most of the runic symbols and designs on here aren't formulated in a sentence structure or a language. You do see the roots of them. Some of them are draconic in root, but they've been changed as part of the enchantment of the armor. However, you do find like a small kind of crumpled note on the inside of the armor.
Can I pull it out?
Yeah.
What is it?
I mean, it's up to you.
Oh, I'm gonna open it.
Okay. Do you want to tell her what's on?
Oh, you want me to tell her?
Or
it just has your name on it.
My.
And it says, take these wings and fly.
No. I just put it back in the armor.
Okay.
There's nothing.
Let's go get him.
Okay.
Can we start? He's been here for a while. I'm sorry to bring you into this, like...
No.
So
it's
quickly,
okay.
Pike.
I would rather be here, and I'm glad that you guys called me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because you're in your astral form, you don't have the reagents with you. However, reagents can be provided by the party, and you